I'm here at the Mount Grenfell Historic Site. I'm keen to see what I see here. Beautiful spot. Actually, pretty magic with the rocks here. I really love that. Pretty dry at the moment, but still a little bit of water. I can see how that would have been a special place. Beautiful. Nice. There are hundreds of ancient rock drawings of humans, animals and the natural environment at this invaluable historical site. It's definitely worth a 60-kilometer detour from the highway in my book. This Mount Grenville part is actually from 2 years ago, but it never fitted in any of the other videos, and I thought it is perfect for that Darling River part now. Yeah, beautiful place here, very well worth a detour, I reckon. After I dropped the kids off at the airport in Koba, I wanted to have a look at the Toorale National Park, which a friend of mine recommended and I never stopped before. Toorale National Park is a relatively new park that New South Wales National Parks purchased in 2008. The 76,000-acre park is located around 80 kilometers southwest of Burke at the junction of the Darling and Warrego River. Toorale National Park consists of land that was previously part of Toorale Station, used for irrigation, cropping and grazing, and at some stage was one of the biggest stations in the world. The park is jointly managed by the local indigenous Gundabooka NP people and New South Wales National Parks. I'm having a look here towards the floodplains to the north. However, towards the southeast you can see as far as Mount Grenfell, which I will visit and climb later in the trip. I'm here at the old Toorale homestead, but gotta have a quick lunch first and then gotta have a look around here. So, sandwich, pulled peri-peri chicken. We'll see how that tastes. Good old hummus. Love my dried tomatoes. Some dried tomatoes, few spinach leaves, and some of the pulled pork. Voila! Toorale Station is in the Toorale National Park and was built on the land of the Gundabooka NP people, who roamed it since the early times. The station has a significant pastoral history dating back to 1850. Toorale was owned and managed by several families, companies and more recently international corporations. Wilson owned Toorale from 1874 to 1880 when he sold it to his nephew Samuel McCaughey. He held it from 1880 to 1913, during which time he amassed a vast area of land including Toorale and surrounding stations. By 1909, totaling 3 million acres and making it one of the most extensive sheep and cattle farms in the world at the time. The confluence of the Warrego and the Darling River is located on the property. In 1892, the poet Henry Lawson worked as a rouseabout in the Toorale woolshed. Lawson composed many works, including A Stranger on the Darling, Burke and The Boss's Boots, while working at Toorale. After having a wander around the station, it was time to find myself a camp spot along the Darling River. Beautiful. Medium rare. Beautiful. One thing I can't show you on video is how beautiful the smell is around here. All these clover and green around me just has this absolutely beautiful fruity bloomy smell, which you really wouldn't expect because I don't see many flowers really around, but it is just absolutely stunning. I love it. It is so windy. Summer would be good swim in the river, but it is pretty fresh. .4 3 amp now, not in full sun, but soon will be. That yeah, will keep me going indefinitely. The 150 amp Red Arc solar blanket. Disaster has struck, something which I managed to avoid for several years, having the Helinox chairs. It happened today. It is super windy. I don't know how often I stood up today. I took the chair, put it behind the car. That's where I place my chair every time I stood up from the fire. And just one little oversight. Then I jump up just to grab a drink. The only time I did not do it, the chair lands in the fire. And that's the end of it. Mind you, it still kind of works. Actually sitting in it I don't feel it, but obviously yeah, it won't roll in well. But I hope I can just get a replacement cover and don't need a whole new chair. I'm really I'm devastated. So these got me thinking now, because I really don't want to have that happen again. I will see whether I can get a replacement cover for these, because the aluminium and everything, it's all good. But I think I found a pretty simple solution. I'm gonna drill 2 small holes in each of the rear legs, and then I'm gonna loop a bit of paracord through it, and that can stay permanently attached. And that means I can easily peg the 2 rear legs down, because let's face it, if it blows backwards it doesn't really matter. You never want to blow it forward in the fire, which happened here for me. Just putting 2 pegs in, or even 1 peg is probably enough, will solve it, because I know I'm not the only one, and I'm certainly not the first one who that happened to. Even my Red Arc solar blanket flew away. I had that initially a bit higher up the window, and yeah, that got taken off. Driving back to the Toorale homestead, I tried to see, apparently there are some indigenous rangers around there, so I'm going to go there, see whether I can catch them. Maybe they can show me around a bit, and yeah, otherwise I hope that wind dies a bit down. It is, yeah, very windy, which spoils it a little bit. So second day at the Toorale homestead. I tried yesterday to find that old graveyard, but couldn't, and I wasn't 100% sure whether I was on the right track. But I confirmed that now, and we'll have another look and see whether I can find that graveyard here. Again, this is all the river, but it's completely covered with algae. Emu with his chicks running in front of me. Taking. So I found the graveyard. Pretty hard to find, I have to say. But here it is. Old glass bottle. Southern Cross Brewing Company. Not sure what that would have been. So many old bottles still. This bottle remains a property of Delgetty Ale and Co. So I just come back to camp. That's my stretcher. Just to give you an idea how strong that wind was. There is sleeping bags in there, mattress, heavy pillow. Yeah, and as soon as the car was gone, which I had parked as a windshield, that's it. Some green veggies, fresh onions. Good. That's gonna be a good steak. So packing in a little bit in a hurry because looks actually fairly cloudy and rainy here. Clouds are fairly low and all these roads here become apparently quite treacherous after a little bit of rain. So better packing in now and heading off to the next spot. Seems like I'm just getting out in time. Let's see how much rain comes down here. But you already hear the difference on the road. So I'm trying to get a shower in Burke, and that seems to be impossible because of COVID. I tried to get into the caravan park in Burke. Wouldn't let me have a shower because of COVID. So fortunately now I managed to get a shower at Kidman's camp. So thank you very much. I mean, I have not been in any on any exposure site. I've been away for nearly 4 weeks now, and yeah, common sense doesn't seem to rule. I obviously checked in, left my phone number, I wear a mask, I do all the things I'm supposed to do. And yeah, I can't understand that the caravan park wouldn't let me have a shower. It's just ridiculous. I could have stayed there and have a shower and pay for a night, but not just for a shower, even with check-in and everything. Anyway, that's a no for me for the caravan park, but definitely a yes for Kidman's camp. And I think if I stay in Burke, that's where I'm gonna stay, because it also looks like actually pretty beautiful place here. So yeah, anyway, shower now and then off to Gundabooka. So thanks for watching. This is the end of this episode and I hope you enjoyed it. In the next episode I will be exploring Gundabooka National Park. I walk to the Mulgowan Aboriginal site to see some fantastic indigenous artwork and camp at the Dry Tank campground. I also do the 6-kilometer Valley of the Eagles trek to the top of Mount Grenfell. Afterwards I spend some time at Toorale Station, which is a historic sheep and cattle station on the Darling River, and I finally visit Meeninde Lakes. If you enjoy my videos, get entertainment or value from it, please consider that I spend a lot of time and money creating these videos and I need your help to continue doing so. Yes, I do receive some advert revenue and also the occasional product to review. However, that does not even cover the cost for the fuel of one trip. So if you enjoy my videos, please like, share and subscribe. And if you can, please consider becoming one of my Patreon supporters. And with the equivalent of a cup of coffee or two per month, you can support me in creating these videos. As a Patreon supporter, you also have a few benefits, like early access to my videos, you can ask me a direct question via the Patreon platform, and you have a good chance of winning some of the products I test and give away to my Patreon supporters. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you along the treks.